Welcome aboard, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, welcoming you to another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. Another weekend has passed us. Daylight savings time has ended. November is upon us. And now we are looking down both barrels of winter time. My, oh my, how the time does fly. This from this article produced by, who produced this article? This was by Steve Connor, from the science editor from The Independent. Monday, November 3rd, that's today, The Independent, by Steve Connor, the science editor. The article says, Glaxo chief, our drugs do not work on most patients. Are you kidding me? Our drugs do not work on most patients. This is a reprint of an article that was printed 11 years ago, Monday, 8th of December 2003. Alan Roses, worldwide vice president of genetics at GlaxoSmithKline, said fewer than half of the patients prescribed some of the most expensive drugs actually derived any benefit from them. It is an open secret within the drug industry that most of their products are ineffective in most patients, but this is the first time that such a senior drug boss has gone public. His comments came days after it emerged that the NHS drugs bill has soared by nearly 50% in 3 years, rising by $2.3 billion a year to an annual cost to the taxpayer of $7.2 billion, and this is in pounds, United Kingdom pounds. GlaxoSmithKline announced that it had 20 or more new drugs under development that could each earn the company up to $1 billion a year, $1 billion a year, and they don't work, The vast majority of drugs, more than 90%, only work in 30 or 50% of the people, Dr. Roses said. I wouldn't say that most drugs don't work. I would say that most drugs work in 30 to 50% of people. Drugs out there on the market work, but they don't work in everybody. So here's the deal. The MDs support the pharmaceutical industry, and the pharmaceutical industry makes billions on the backs of your suffering, and the pharmaceutical industry makes drugs which only work 30 to 50% of the time, and when they work, they don't cure. They don't cure. They suppress and manage. So even when they have an effective outcome, even when the drugs do what they are supposed to do, they don't cure the body. They don't get to the root cause of the illness. They don't do anything to support and promote the structure and function of the human body to recover its health. They exert an opportunistic, overpowering, hostile takeover of the metabolism of the human body, suppressing symptoms at all costs. It is not the job of the blood pressure medication to cure the blood pressure. It's the job of the blood pressure medication to artificially dilate your blood vessels. It is not the job of the antacid to get to the root cause of what's causing acid to regurgitate into your throat. It's the job of that medicine to completely eliminate all stomach acid from its production in the human stomach, so you're basically a dried up little prune. But at least you don't have heartburn anymore. It is not the job of the antidepressant to fix or heal your brain chemistry so that you have normally functioning brain chemistry in normal moods. It's not the job to do that. It is the job of a psychoactive antidepressant to exert a hostile takeover on the metabolism of your brain chemistry and force your brain chemistry this way, that way, or another way. The intention is not to heal. So even when the drugs do what they say they are supposed to do, they're not healing and they're not curative. So given a choice between buying a medical treatment, because that's what you do. You purchase a medical treatment. You purchase a medical treatment the same way that you purchase anything else. Given the choice between purchasing a medical treatment which was symptom suppressive and managerial, loaded with side effects that had between a 30 and a 50% chance of success, and that when it was successful it was not curative, or attempting a cure with some other type of therapeutic that didn't have any side effects, the worst possible thing that could happen is it just wouldn't work at all, which is also the worst possible. Well, the worst possible thing that can happen when you take a prescription medication is it will kill you or hurt you, depending on which medication it is. Holistic therapeutics attempt to cure. Holistic therapeutics, 100% of the time, attempt to cure the situation, attempt to cure the illness. That's what they do. They attempt to cure. An MD-directed medical therapeutic does no such thing. It does not attempt to cure. An MD-directed medical therapeutic attempts to dominate, overpower, control, upregulate, downregulate, orchestrate a hostile takeover of the biochemistry of the body and make you dependent upon that drug for the rest of your life because, remember, it only manages the problem. So which would a sane human being want to do? Medical therapeutic that only works 30 to 50% of the time. It's extremely expensive. It's loaded with side effects, not the least of which is death. Prescribed by a medical profession who has exerted a hostile monopoly of the medical profession for the last 100 years. By a medical profession, doled out by a medical profession which is the leading cause of death in the United States and the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, and if it is effective, will not cure your condition. Or attempt to cure with some other type of therapeutic. The worst possible thing that can happen is after you take it, you're no better and you're no worse than you were before, which is a more appropriate thing to do. It is always more appropriate to attempt to cure. It is always more appropriate to fix the source of the dry rot rather than just paint over the mold. It is always a better solution to try to understand what's causing the pipes in your plumbing to burst every winter rather than just patching them up. It is always better to tune up the automobile than to let it get so far gone that the engine explodes. It is always better, once you do have a problem with your automobile, to find the source of the problem, eliminate the source of the problem, and fix it so that it doesn't happen again. This is always a better thing to do. And this is what most people have been led to believe that their MDs do, and their MDs do not do this. Your medical doctor may be the nicest person God created, but your medical doctor is not trained how to cure your condition. They are not. They're trained to deliver therapeutics, the intention of which are to suppress, overpower, and control the architecture of the body, the biochemistry of the body, and the cure is not even considered. If a cure happens, it's, spontaneous, miraculous thing. Oh, because you had the right genes for that. Well, guess what? Every holistic physician in the world is trained to support and promote the ability of your body to actually cure your problem. Cure is never a word that you will hear uttered by an MD. It is never a word that you will hear uttered by an MD, but it is uttered by licensed, regulated, homeopathic physicians, naturopathic physicians, acupuncturists, traditional Chinese medical doctors, Ayurvedic practitioners, etc., 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 all of the time. And yet, the vast majority of people laboring underneath the wheel of chronic disease all around the world have been enculturated to believe that the alternative practitioner who actually attempts a cure is the quack. That the alternative, quote-unquote, practitioner actually practices alternative medicine when, in fact, they don't. I don't practice alternative medicine. Alternative medicine is a derogatory term dreamed up by the MDs to try to put them in the top dog seat while talking about all of the other medical practitioners, referencing them as inferior substandard. This is the psychology that's at play here, and it's worked. Joseph Goebbels would be impressed by what the American Medical Association and the pharmaceutical industry have gotten away with over the last 100 years. It is the complete mind, of human beings all across the planet. We have been manipulated on purpose into believing that your MD owns the secret decoder ring to all things medical, and that somehow, by virtue of their education in allopathic reductionistic medicine, they know everything there is to know about medicine. They are the go-to people for all things having to do with medicine, and you should pay absolutely no attention whatsoever to the chiropractor. You should pay absolutely no attention whatsoever to the naturopath. What the heck is a naturopath anyway? You should pay absolutely positively no attention to the homeopath or the acupuncturist or the traditional Chinese medical practitioner, or you should pay absolutely positively no attention to the oldest medical practice on the planet, Ayurvedic medicine. You just shouldn't pay any attention to that stuff. Just pay attention to the world's leading cause of death medicine. Yeah, go with that. Pay attention to the world's leading cause of bankruptcy medicine. Yeah, go with that. Pay attention to that. Well, guess what? People around the world are slowly starting to snap out of it and to wake up to the possibilities and the potentials of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. And if you listen to this radio program long enough, you will, in fact, hear testimonials which will bring you to tears, and then which will perhaps hope to solidify in your corpus callosum, to solidify in your frontal cortex, to solidify in your body-mind the simple notion that when it comes to chronic disease, the dog for the hunt is the naturopathic dog, the holistic dog, the alternative quote-unquote dog. These are the people that you should pay attention to, and you will find them every week here on this radio program. Ladies and gentlemen, I am and always will be, God willing and the creek don't rise, your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden. Join the live stream, the drgliddenshow.tv. Linda from Iowa is up when we come back. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. How you doing? How you doing? Let's go to Iowa and talk to Linda, see how she's doing. Hey, Linda, thanks for the call. You are live.
Thanks for taking it.
All right. What's happening?
About 15 different things, none of them good.
Is this about you that we're talking or somebody else?
Me, this is me trying to get help, trying for about 15, 20 years to get some results, and all I can get is more runaround. Years ago, trying to figure it out, they did a gastro, went down, checked the stomach. They don't eat before midnight, and I was supposed to be in at 9 o'clock on the table. There was an emergency. I never got there till 11, and there was still food in my stomach from the night before, and they kind of didn't believe me that I hadn't eaten after midnight. And I finally convinced them that I wouldn't risk getting some results to get some help by eating after midnight. So they're like, okay, well, you're not breaking your food down, and it just sits in your stomach and it just putrefies, and you can't absorb any nutrition. And then they've said I get leaky gut, bloating, constipation, food allergies, vitiligo, brain fog, don't have a gallbladder. I had some blood tests. They couldn't really give me any answers on the T3, T4. They said they weren't right, but I was probably bipolar.
Great.
Let me see.
So what, all right, so we could go on and on here. And so you've been laboring under strong and persistent symptoms for years, and you've been mismanaged by many different medical professionals, most of whom have had a lot of attitude, and quite frankly, they should all be ejected from the United States and sent to a small island in the Pacific somewhere, which is inhabited by rabid dogs. But
I agree.
Nonetheless, right? Yeah, I'm with you 100%. So where are you now? What are your strong and persistent symptoms, and what have you been doing about them in the last 90 days?
Okay, well, I tried the GAPS diet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then I did the bentonite clay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then I came across you on the internet, and I thought, okay, somebody that's talking nutrition to heal. Okay, so 2 weeks ago I started on the,
Come on, you can say it. I know you can.
90 for life. The three,
so
anyway.
where you did the healthy body start pack?
Yeah.
You did one of those?
And, yeah.
Okay, what else?
They finally decided that since I was waking up in the night just ravenous, they said, okay, sweeties.
Okay.
And I'm doing the flora, plant-derived minerals, selenium, enzymes.
Yep. So, and how long have you been doing this?
I'm be starting my third week.
Okay, have you eliminated the 10 bad foods?
Absolutely.
All right, good girl. So, how much do you weigh?
About 135.
Okay, so what specific questions do you have that I can help you with to dial this in?
Is this what I need to be doing? Is there something I can change up? Is there something I need to be doing more or less or add to? And I know it probably sounds like I'm whining, but it's like I want to move faster. I want to get better faster if it's,
Yeah, no, I get it. So you want to optimize the program, which is entirely prudent and reasonable, and that's not whining. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that, right? You're spending hard-earned money. You want to, get the most bang for your buck, and you want to just be sure you're doing what you're doing. So
yeah.
I can help you to do that. And also you need to understand that the zone that we swim in, the zone that we work in, the zone that we inhabit is the holistic zone. And in the holistic zone, you can't force the nut to ripen in the shell, right? It's going to ripen in its own time. You can't force the tomato to ripen on the vine, right? It's going to take its own time. Now, so healing is a process. It is going to take time, which is why we recommend everybody who's jumping into this water with us hang out with the program for a minimum of 90 days, 3 months, before they judge the program up or down or good or bad or otherwise. Now, you may experience improvement in less than 90 days. Most people do, but just keep in mind that the 90-day rule applies here for everybody. We want to get on board with the appropriate program and the appropriate amounts, and then once we've done that, we give it 90 days before we're able to judge it one way or the other. You stick with me, Linda. On the other side of the break, I'll dial it in for you. I promise. More to come, folks. Don't touch that dial. We're out and about this weekend, hanging around, getting out of the house. Right, went to a mall, open-air mall here. Thousands of people walking around. And we were walking up one aisle of the mall, and there was a little food court, like a little food place in the middle of the mall. And they were making deep-fried churros, that Mexican dessert, churro. It's deep-fried flour that they stick in, sugar or honey or molasses or cinnamon or whatever, right? Big, long line for that stuff, and we could smell it. 50 yards away, we were downwind, and it was like, oh, my God, that's just it. It was like an overpowering odor, and then we get up, and there's all these people in line for it. And then it was getting to be around lunchtime, and we were looking for a place to eat. And every place that we went to, there was nothing that we could eat. But every place that we went to was loaded with people. And there was nothing that we could eat, not because we have, super restrictive, allergy diets. It's because I'm just talking about the 10 bad foods. Everybody on planet Earth eats the 10 bad foods every day, all of the time. Everybody does it. And that's why everybody is sick. And when you combine that with chronic lack of nutrients, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire. And this is why autism is skyrocketing. This is why chronic disease is skyrocketing. This is why everybody is sick and it's getting worse. I mean, I'm looking at teenage girls now, and they're like teenage guys, football players, cheerleaders, just kids in high school, and they look like crap. I mean, they look like crap. Their skin is sallow. They're not healthy at all. I mean, they look sick. But all of them look sick. It's not just like, the one kid in the back of the cafeteria like it used to be. It's everybody. And why is this? Because everybody eats the 10 bad foods all the time. Everybody eats the 10 bad foods all the time. And everybody is chronically nutritionally deficient. These foods are eaten way more than they were when I was younger, and they were eaten way more than they were in my grandfather's generation, way more. And this is why we're going straight to hell in a handbasket, because nobody knows any better. I see people eating fried food, I want to strangle them. I do. I mean, how would you feel if you saw somebody eating a hamburger and that you knew that the meat was bad and that there was E. coli on it? You knew that there was E. coli on it. You knew it. And they're about to put it into their mouth. Or what, are you going to just put your hands in your pocket and watch them do it and, just kind of be a passive observer? No. You're going to knock that crap out of their hands. Oh, it's got E. coli in it. Or, if you're the court jester in the king's court and you see somebody slip a little strychnine into the king's wine, are you going to let the king drink it? No. You'll know it's going to kill him. And this is what I feel like every time I see people eating the 10 bad foods, especially fried food. I want to just run up to the line and rip that stuff out of everybody's hands. But, then I would be arrested. And that's not any good. But this is an epidemic. It is an epidemic that is washing across the whole world here, and it's the ship of fools. Reality by consensus, herd mentality, people just doing whatever the hell they want to. And, hoping against hope that the MD will someday come up with, the artificial eye, the artificial brain, the artificial everything, and leave it all to the MDs, boys. They'll fix us. Yeah, guess what? While we've given the MDs sway over our health, we are getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and it sickens me to the bone to see it live in living 3D color. Let's finish up with Linda in Iowa. Okay, Linda, so here is the deal. 135 pounds, more or less? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So the recommendation for you would be one Healthy Body Start Pack, 2.0 liquid per month. One Healthy Body Start Pack, 2.0 liquid per month. That's 2 level scoops of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Okay. 1 level scoop of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine in about, 20, 24 ounces of water, a liter of water. Let's say a liter.
Is 32 too much?
No, 32 is not too much. Not at all.
Okay.
You're going to have to do this twice a day, though, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So it's going to be 1 level scoop in about a liter of water plus 1 ounce of the plant-derived minerals twice a day. And I want you to take at least 2 hours to drink that whole solution down each time.
Okay, combine the tangy and the plant-derived.
Yeah, but so you're going to need 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals a month. 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals a month, because you're going to be taking 1 ounce twice a day, okay? Okay, Sweeties, I only want you to do 1 of those bottles a month. There's 120 capsules in there, so I'd like you to do 4 of those between lunch and dinner. I'd like you to do 4 of those between lunch and dinner. Between lunch and dinner.
Not with the meal?
Nope. Between, so you can do it between breakfast and lunch, or you can do it between lunch and dinner, but I don't want you to do it before a meal. I want you to do it in between meals.
Oh, I was doing it with a meal.
Yeah, it's a bad idea. Okay. The enzymes I want you to do at the very beginning of the meal, the enzymes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's no problem. And the flora, I want you to do 2 before bed.
Okay.
Now, the white liquid calcium is last but not least. I want you, so you're going to, in the Healthy Start Pack, there's 1 bottle of the white liquid calcium, the Beyond OsteoFX, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to order 1 other bottle of Cal Toddy. 1 bottle of Cal Toddy a month. And I'd like you to mix a half an ounce of the Cal Toddy and a half an ounce of the OsteoFX in a little bit of orange juice, 1 ounce or 2 of orange juice. I'd like you to do that first thing in the morning and immediately before bed.
Okay, Beyond OsteoFX with a Cal Toddy.
Half an ounce each.
How much?
Half an ounce each with 1 ounce or 2 of orange juice twice a day, with the final dose being immediately before bed. All right?
Okay.
That's all I want you to do for 90 days. Plus eliminate the 10 bad foods. That's it. That's all you have to do. Oh, you need selenium as well. Everybody gets selenium. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm doing 3 of those a day.
Well,
right,
you need to do 9 a day. Okay. 9 a day.
And that needs to be on an empty stomach?
It's best if you could add that with the Sweeties. You could do, if you're going to add it with the sweeties, you can do 6 a day, 3 and 3. Yeah, so I want you to do 9 a day of the selenium. The best way to do that, 3 between breakfast and lunch, 3 between lunch and dinner, and 3 between dinner and bedtime. Okay?
Okay.
So that's it. That's all I want you to do. Just be diligent with that every day for 90 days. And the hardest thing for someone like you is going to be keeping track of the symptoms that you have, because as your symptoms slip away and fall away and disappear, you're going to forget that you had them. That's how the brain works. It forgets bad stuff. So you are a definite candidate for symptom inventory. Get a legal pad, and on the left-hand column, write all of the things that bother you every day, and all of the symptoms, and then once a week, check in with that symptom every Sunday, let's say, and give it a score from 0 to 10. 0 being it's gone, and 10 being, just take me out back and shoot me in the head because it's so fucking bad. All right?
Well, that's what I was, but I don't have the headaches anymore. I don't have bloodshot, swollen eyes anymore.
So you're on the right track, but I'm telling you, this is a process, right? And in order for this to carry the day, you're going to have to hang in there for the long term. And it's much easier to hang in for the long term if you have a direct record of all the stuff that you've gotten over, because you will forget it. You'll forget it. 2 months from now, you won't even remember you had these headaches. You won't even remember that you had bloodshot eyes, and you'll be so focused on the stuff that you're still trying to deal with. That's how the brain works. So I'm telling you, man, this is a process, and we're in this for the long haul. And if we can have a record of our, weekly improvement, that will give us inspiration to maintain the course, and that's a pretty important thing for you given your history.
Now, with no gallbladder, does any of this need to be changed up? I don't know if I mentioned that or not.
Most excellent question. So, given the fact that you're 135 pounds and have no gallbladder, you need to be doing 2 bottles of the enzymes a month. So you want to take 1 or 2 of those before every meal. If it's a small meal, take 1. If it's a larger meal, like Thanksgiving, or if you have a big dinner, you can take 2 at the very beginning of the meal. You're going to have to take that supplement for the rest of your life. Because that will give your digestive tract back what the idiot MDs stole when they took your gallbladder.
Oh, and all the surgery. How about HCl with pepsin before meals?
Don't need it.
No?
Don't need it.
Don't do it, okay.
Now, if you have it, you can use it up and finish it, but I wouldn't add that on. The digestive enzyme that Longevity has is the best one I've ever seen anywhere.
Okay.
I mean, it's like the Ferrari of digestive enzymes. There's nothing else that needs to go into that.
Am I going to add or detract by using it?
Neither. I mean, if your budget will allow it and you don't mind taking an extra couple pills a day, then there's no harm and no foul. It's not a problem. However, when we do betaine HCl, if you experience heartburn after a meal, it means you've taken too much. And you need to back off of it. Okay. And that's what we used to do that when I was coming up in naturopathic medical school a quarter of a century ago. Oh my God. The recommendation was when you started somebody with digestive enzymes, especially betaine HCl, you gave them 1 capsule at every meal, and then every meal you would add a capsule, right? And you would just keep adding a capsule until they experience heartburn, and then you'd back off by 3 or 4 capsules. So, and I had some people that I was working with when I was in school, they need to take like 20 of those a day before they got a burning sensation. That's how bad their digestive acid was. So, but the hallmark, the calcium supplementation that you're doing and salting your food using salt so that your food tastes good, and the 90 essential nutrients will give you really strong stomach acid, right? Okay. But you shouldn't need betaine HCl over time, but you will need the digestive enzymes from Longevity because of the bile. there are bile salts in the longevity enzyme, and you're going to need that because that's what your gallbladder gave to your digestive tract, which is what the MDs took away. So, right, we've got
the meal should I take those?
Oh, doesn't matter. 15 minutes,
5 minutes?
10 minutes, 5 minutes, or if you forget at the very beginning, right?
Okay.
But if you forget to take that, and it's the end of the meal or you're like 3/4 of the way through it, don't take it, because if you take that digestive enzyme at the end of the meal, it will actually mess your digestion up.
Okay, don't need that.
Yeah, but look, I've got, if you've already experienced this, much noticeable improvement in 2 freaking weeks.
Yeah.
Right? Really, the sky is the limit here for you. You know what else I might want to do as kind of a psychological prop? Go to the store, buy a little bag of tomato seeds, and plant some tomatoes in your house. And those little green containers. And your health should be improving kind of in the same time frame as the tomato plant grows. That would be kind of a good way to check it out. How about that for an idea? You're the greatest, Cindy. Call me back. Linda, I'm sorry. Call me back with a report moving forward. I'll look forward to it. Hey, folks. This is how we're doing it. Oh, Canada is up next. Everybody, welcome back. Dr. Peter Glidden here. Now, remember, keeping it all in perspective, right, in the context of a private practice, I treat disease. In the context of a private practice, if I have a documented patient chart and I've cured rheumatoid arthritis, I can say I've cured rheumatoid arthritis. I can, because I'm a licensed physician, and I did that. But in the context of this radio program and in the context of Longevity Nation, which I am a wholehearted supporter of, always will be, we don't say that we treat disease because, the FDA has a problem with that. Because the FDA is not there to protect you. The FDA is there to protect the pharmaceutical industry, and that is an academic fact, not just my opinion. One of these days, the Food and Drug Administration will be overthrown, or it will be, some president will rise to power who has cojones, and they'll just cut them off at the knees. But the pharmaceutical industry has so much money and so much control over the political machine that it's going to take a remarkable act of courage to do that on the part of any politician. But it's eventual that it's going to happen, because the pharmaceutical industry is crushing and collapsing the economy, not just of the United States, but of Canada, the European Union as well. It's only a matter of time until those chickens come home to roost, until everybody snaps out of it and understands that, the MD Emperor really has no clothes, and that this whole thing is a freaking house of cards. And that the best possible thing that can happen to not only the health of people around the world, but also the economy of the world, is to get the MDs out of the driver's seat of medicine and to bring really aggressive controls on the pharmaceutical industry. I mean really aggressive controls. Maybe that'll happen in our lifetime. I don't know. But in the meantime, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to lift ourselves up. We're going to look around, and we're going to lean on the medical professionals who get results clinically with things other than drugs or surgery. So that would be us. Nobody does that better than Dr. Wallach. I've been doing this 26 years now. How about that? That's kind of good, right? 26 years now. And I've never seen therapeutics produce the results that I've seen with Dr. Wallach's. I've never seen anything come even close to it. So Dr. Wallach's knowledge base about pathology of disease and what to do and how to do it to support and promote the structure and function of the human body is unmatched by anybody. Nobody even comes close to Dr. Wallach's resume. Right? If your son or daughter wanted to learn how to play basketball and you could get Michael Jordan to coach them, wouldn't you do that? You're darn right you do that. Well, if you're up against a health issue, you should lean on Dr. Wallach, because he's the Michael Jordan of naturopathic medicine. Nobody produces the results that Wallach does. But a lot of my colleagues and myself get great results. But we're not even in the same league as Wallach. Not even in the same league. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not blowing smoke here, and I'm not pandering. I'm just telling you the truth. So, my advice, be politically active, right? Be socially responsible. Civilly disobedient, right? Appropriately. And Lean, and maybe the pharmaceutical industry will fall in your lifetime. But in the meantime, lift yourself up with longevity. Lean on Dr. Wallach's knowledge base. It is precious. It is a precious commodity. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. My recommendation, everybody as a boilerplate foundation should every month take 1 Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid, 1 Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid, 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals, 2 bottles of selenium, 2 bottles of selenium, and 1 bottle of Ultimate Enzymes per 100 pounds of body weight per month. That's 1 bottle of Beyond of the Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid, 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals, 2 bottles of selenium, and 1 bottle of Ultimate Enzymes per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And we never recommend anybody in the beginning take more than 4 bottles of selenium a month. So if you're 250 pounds or over, stop the selenium supplementation at 4 bottles a month, but take everything else appropriate for your body weight. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Give that program 90 days to work, and be prepared for a flippin' miracle. Nothing works like properly applied, science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. I do promise to go to Canada and talk to Cindy at the very minute that we get back in the second hour. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your steadfast advocate for health. And Dr. Peter Glidden. Check out the live stream, the drgliddenshow.tv. And don't neglect my website, drglidden.com.